Hey guys, I'm James Erickson.
And I'm Andres Erickson.
And welcome to another Erickson Gaming discussion. Real quick, before we get started, I wanted to apologize for no Erickson exchange this week. I was on vacation last week, so we were putting it off until next Monday. That being said, in this video, Andres and I are going to talk about what each of us thought about the ARMS Testpunch that just recently ended. Just like many of you, this was our first experience with ARMS, so it was interesting to experience this brand new game. So right away, let's kind of describe our first impression, like jumping right into the game itself. What are some thoughts that were going through your head?
I think at first, like most of us, and like it was set up, you're just thrown right into the game. So, and for some reason, whenever we like TBH, to be honest, just personally, whenever we're thrown or whenever we're put on the spot, like on a live stream or something, and I have to start playing something or doing something I never do, I get frustrated really easily. So I just was getting frustrated because I couldn't get it, like, just because you're put into the game right away with players who might have been playing for another hour. I had no idea what I was doing, so I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I was getting annoyed at the game.
I didn't even think about that. I forgot that that's the way I kind of felt too.
Just I feel like you have a little more patience, at least outwardly. But that was just because, again, there wasn't really much of a tutorial, and then I was holding the Joy-Cons wrong, so I was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but that changed like right after that. So that was just how I felt about it right off the bat.
That's actually funny that you said that, because I wasn't even thinking about that. And the first time I played the ARMS Testpunch was the day before, on live stream by myself, because you were busy or something, or we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it together because we were both like in completely different areas. But I felt the same way. I started and we did the tutorial, and that was fine. And the computer was really easy because they give you like Springman to go up against. And then I got online, and like you said, they throw you right into the game, and I was getting frustrated because, like any fighting game that you don't know anything about, you just feel like you're button mashing, and I kept getting thrown and punched, and some of you listening might remember me just like being like, oh my gosh, I completely suck at this game and I don't know what I'm doing.
It reminded me of how I first felt about Pokken Tournament.
Oh yeah.
And still kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
But
anyways. So when it came to gameplay itself, like the fighting, because obviously the most important thing about a fighting game is how it feels.
Yeah.
What are some of your remembrances of what you thought of how the game felt?
My remembrances. I mean, besides the fact that I didn't really know what I was doing at first, it didn't feel like the mechanics were really bad or the gameplay was like really horribly made or anything. It was very fast paced, and I mean, after I did get used to it at least a little bit, I had a lot more fun with it. And there is, unlike Pokken Tournament, for me at least, there's a more freedom in what you can do, which is what I was worried about. I mean, it's not as free as Super Smash Bros. Obviously, but that's because it's a different kind of game. But it still felt like there was some strategy to it if you could get better at it, which I liked.
Yeah, something that is really important to me about a fighting game, and I think when I played Pokken Tournament, this kind of disappointed me, but that's just because this is how I am with fighting games. But it's the reaction time when you like press a button, how fast the person reacts.
Yeah.
And I think that, like Super Smash Brothers, when it comes to local gameplay, this is why I hate online, because I feel like it's a guessing game most of the time.
Just thinking that, yeah.
But when you're playing local Super Smash Brothers, you're like, the reaction, there's no input lag, I guess I would say. There's hardly any input lag at all, and that's why I like Super Smash Brothers, because it's not like a guessing game. It's obviously you need to read your opponent, but you're also going based off reaction too, and you need to think quickly. And when I played ARMS, now that I'm remembering it, I did feel like it was like that. It was, and I played both ways. I actually did, because I played the second weekend of ARMS, and I played some of it with the controller instead of the motion controls.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah, you can.
I didn't even know you could do that.
and the reaction time is really good actually, and so I wonder if the controllers are going to be used a lot for competitive.
Yeah.
Because it is not. I mean, I'm trying to think. With the motion controls, it was harder to make sure I didn't accidentally punch or something like that.
Yeah.
But my point here is, I guess, that it had good reaction time. It felt good. The game mechanics did feel good, and I was glad about how it felt, because that did worry me a little bit. That worries me when it comes to any fighting game.
Yeah.
ARMS, as you can see when you play the game and you've seen trailers, has a very unique cast of characters here.
Yes.
And a lot of people have... I mean, I guess there is some correlation, but they compare it to Overwatch because...
Yeah. Even just naturally, I can't help but compare it to Overwatch. Not in a terrible way, I just do it for some reason.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that does make sense, because they're trying to make tons of unique fighters, and you know, that's cool. But something right in the beginning, and I still kind of feel like this, and I think as we play more and more, this will get better. But when I first started playing with each character, all of them to me felt mostly the same. Did you feel like that?
As far as gameplay goes, or
as far as like how fast or how... I know that some, you know, Ribbon Girl has her triple or quadruple jumps that she has, and then Min Min likes to kick in the air. But when it comes to movement, did you feel like most of them felt the same?
I would say for the most part they did. I mean, yeah, I recognize some of the differences, and then there's obvious ones like what's the goop guy? What's his name?
Felix.
Felix. He like does the duck thing where he turns into like a boogie.
Oh yeah,
and,
I forgot about
like
that.
they have things that make them different, but as far as movement goes, yeah, they are kind of similar.
Yeah. Well, and after I played for a while, I did start to feel a lot more differences. But like more toward the beginning, when I'd play like Master Mummy, I thought this is just a slower, bigger version of everyone else.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing he can take more hits and stuff like that. But did you have any thoughts on just generally each of the characters or anything?
Well, I really liked, because just like Overwatch, I like when it's very like the cartoon nature of it all.
Yeah.
I like how the colors are really rich and the personalities are really big and like features are very defined. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that is more engaging, I guess, to me than like... I mean, I can't think of what to compare it to.
Cut and paste fighters.
Like, yeah, exactly. I think it's more fun, and you can get. It just I don't know.
Well, I completely agree. That's why I like games like this. That's why I play. Like, there's a lot of, for example, CS:GO compared to Splatoon, or compared to Overwatch. I prefer Overwatch because I like the big cast of characters, and I like the colorful personalities. And then you got CS:GO, which is just all soldiers and everything.
Actually, I mean, and you're gonna not like this, but that's why I like to play Overwatch so much more than Team Fortress 2, because even though they are unique, and I do really like their personalities, just as far as their outward appearance, and they're all dressed very similar, so you know who's on your team, and like stuff like that. So it's not, and then the worlds they're just kind of faded browns and grays, so it's not as exciting to look at as like this or Overwatch is.
Yeah, that's understandable.
You mean you don't hate me because we don't agree?
Actually I do.
Oh. Well, okay.
When we were playing ARMS Testpunch, we got to experience the different arms. We got to experience just the regular punching gloves, and then there was like the homie missile or whatever the crap, and then there were those boomerangs and stuff. What did you think about the differences in those? Because the arms were very different from each other, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I think because it was just a test punch and you didn't get a chance to actually read about them or learn about them, I don't really remember a difference in them. And when I was picking them, I was just like, oh, I haven't used this yet, or oh, I'll just pick these just because they're not the same and I'll see what they do. But I don't really... I mean, I have to look at them now, but...
well, I get that, because that's actually how I felt when I first started playing it.
I would kind of just...
You only played that one time we streamed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only time. So I would just throw out my arm and then see that it did something slightly different. I was like, oh, okay. And then I would forget and do it again, just hope it hits them. I think the missile one was the only one I understood what I was doing when I threw it out.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one, I think I used Min first, and I used her dragon arm first, and something else. And I thought at first I thought the dragon one was really weird because you only punched it like halfway, and then it would shoot out a laser.
Oh yeah.
But now that I've had like more of a handle of it, got to experience different strategies with it, I understand like how it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Which is cool because all the different arms allow you to create all these different strategies, I suppose. But anyways, there were a couple different game modes that we tried. And there was the 1v1, and there was the 3-person free-for-all, and then I think there was 2v2, and volleyball is the ones that we got to try. There were different ones the second weekend, but we'll just discuss real quick the ones that we both played.
Yeah.
But what did you think of all three of them compared to one another? Like the 1v1 compared to especially the 4-man free-for-all.
I can't remember if I liked 2v2 better than free-for-all. I think I do because that way everyone's just like every man for himself, so you can just do whatever you want and you're not attached to somebody else, which I kind of didn't like in the 2v2. But having a partner or having a teammate did add something different to it, I guess, because you could rely on someone or be destroyed by someone.
Actually, I don't know if there was a 4-man free-for-all, but I definitely know there were 3-man free-for-alls.
Yeah. But in the 2 players, it was like if your teammate died, there was no hope. It's just like you just take a terrible beating until you die. But I think overall I liked 1v1 the best just because it was less chaotic and I could focus more on strategy, I suppose.
Yeah, I've always, like, whether it's a fighting game or like it's Mario Tennis or something like that, I've always been a 1v1 type of person, especially in Super Smash Brothers, and I definitely prefer the one-on-one other than the 3-man free-for-all because I could focus on the person, I could try to think about what I'm doing. In the 3-man free-for-all, I think the first day that I played, and I think that the whole day we played, we didn't realize that you could target another person. So I felt like I was trying to beat up this guy, but him and the other guy were both focused on me, so it didn't seem fair, and I had no clue how to target another person because in the tutorial they don't even teach you how to do that. But I didn't. I still, even when I could target the person, I still didn't like it as much as the 1v1s. I just really like one-on-ones. And then the volleyball game mode was a lot of fun. I thought I had a lot of fun with that.
Volleyball was fun too. At first I felt like it felt really random, and I thought it was chance, like kind of chance based, like, oh, just hit it and hope it goes over. But then I realized that what you did actually affected where it was going, and so that eventually that made it more fun. It felt like there was actually an objective to accomplish.
Yeah, the first day I played, because I was so bad at it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this volleyball stuff is the only one I'm gonna be playing because I'm so bad at this game. But I ended up getting a little better the second weekend, which actually the second weekend had 2 other game modes that you actually didn't play, and one of them was the skill shot. I think, if I remember correctly, it was 2v2, and in the middle of each team there was like a couple rows of targets that would show up. I honestly didn't understand the point of the game. I just was thrown into it, and I just shot targets, I guess. I didn't know why, what the point of it was, so all I did was shoot the targets as they come up, and sometimes I'd randomly be hit by the team on the other side. So I guess we'll have to read into that when we actually play the game. But the other game mode was called Headlock, and so it was a 3v1, and the person by themselves, I think it was just a computer though, but the person by themselves had this like giant metal Terminator head on, and it had 3 arms on both sides, so it essentially had 6 arms, and you just had to beat it up. So basically you just punched it to death, and I beat it one time. A lot of people were saying they had a lot of difficulty trying to defeat the headlock, which it was hard, but I did beat it one time, and I was proud of myself. But real quick, I more on the second weekend of the Testpunch where they added Twintel and all those game modes. I actually did. Oh, and I don't know if you probably didn't do this, but I told you about the exploit where you could do the warm up even if it wasn't during the Testpunch. Did I tell you about that?
I saw Game Explain talking about it.
Did you try it at all?
I did not.
Okay, well, before the second weekend of the Testpunch, I did that like a few times during the week, and it actually really did help me get a handle on the controls. And so when I went into I only played 1 hour of Testpunch during the second weekend, but I did a lot better. And at that point is when I realized how good this game actually can be, because I started realizing how to fight. I had a few 1v1s that I really actually enjoyed because I did well, because I think at that point I was starting to understand the game, and my muscle memory was kicking in from the week before, and it was good. All to say of the second weekend, it was a good weekend of ARMS gameplay, I guess. But let's go over what our favorites were, if you can remember. Like, who was your favorite character and why?
Gosh,
so far. Who did you find yourself using the most, I guess?
I thought I was gonna like, what's his name again? Helix the best, just because I usually like the off the wall, like, weird, stupid characters. But I remember there was something about him that I couldn't really get into. I don't remember what it was, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate any of them. I liked what's his name? Ninjara. I don't really like his look that much, just because I never really care about ninja characters, but I liked playing him. But I like Mr. Mummy, probably. I don't know why.
Master Mummy?
Master Mummy. Gosh, I'm so horrible with these names.
Professor Mummy.
Mr. Mummy. And then I like that Ribbon Girl can double jump, but yeah.
She actually, I found out, can like quadruple jump.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like floats through the air and climbs up trees. If you okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, cool. Trying to think. I think Min Min was my favorite. I started using her first because I like the way she looked.
Yeah, I like her too.
Like the way she looked.
Like the way she looks at me.
But after playing all of them, she just felt the best. And I like the way she kicks in the air. Like when you jump and then dash, she like kicks through the air, and that just felt good to me. And I found this out after playing for a while during the warm up and stuff. I didn't know this before. Obviously, everyone probably knows this except us. But if you hold dash, you charge your arms, so they get stronger. Really? They do something special. And when you charge hers, one of her arms stays charged until she gets hit, but everyone else, like if you charge it, it only stays charged for a small amount of time, but hers stays charged till she gets hit or something like that, so I thought that was interesting.
Oh, dang.
She just felt really good to me, and I liked her, and I'm trying to think of another one, but after that I didn't really play anyone else, so. Do you have any ARMS that you can think of that you liked playing with?
I think, again, I'd have to get more experience with them, because I don't remember the differences.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it probably would have been the same for me if I had just played the first weekend, but the second weekend when I was Min, I found myself playing with the dragon thing because I started understanding how to use it, and then she had this, it wasn't the boomerang, it was something like a boomerang, but it curved a lot, and I just, for some reason, liked using that, so. Yeah. That's what I used a lot.
Wow.
That's it. It's June 6th. It's coming out in 10 days. My goodness, I forgot about that. At first, I was pretty skeptical of this game. I had no clue what to think of it. That's what I thought going into this. But after playing, especially after the second weekend of Testpunch, I can see that this game does have great potential, possibly. Yeah. And I had a lot of fun the second weekend of it after I got used to the controls and everything. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I don't foresee it being like my favorite game in the whole entire world, but I think it's a game that I can enjoy on occasions.
You never
and
know.
maybe more than just occasion.
Yeah, I agree. Ditto that.
Ditto that. Helix that, because Helix is the new Ditto, right? Heh, what? Pokemon? Who? What? I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyways, I guess I'll close this out. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you like this video, smash that like button. Because that's what all the other YouTubers tell you to do.
Oh, gosh.
JK.
We want to be like everybody else.
Because, yeah, we want to be like everyone. So if you if you loved this and you want ARMS today, share this with all your friends that you know, because I know all your friends love ARMS and Nintendo.
They all told us.
Yep, every single one of them.
Also, hey, real quick, I wanted to say thank you guys, because we just passed 35,000 subscribers, or 36,000 subscribers, and I haven't said thank you enough. So,
oh yeah, milestones.
Yeah.
Those things.
We
hey,
really
thanks,
appreciate
guys.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like this, we have more videos. Watch them and subscribe to Erickson Gaming for more Game Explain videos.
What?
Like this one. I don't know. Anyways, guys. But seriously, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video tomorrow, probably.
Yes. Peace.
Bye.